So, we have started our recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Is Today the Day Media. I don't really know what episode count this is. We kind of stopped counting them. But this is my good friend Spooky Business, War Spirit, and Tier down below me. And, of course, I am John. Jonathan of Vigilance, or just John. Just call me whatever. But we're here today, kind of a slow month. If you couldn't notice, we kind of skimped out on like 2 different episodes this month. And I'll go ahead and fade the music out. But we went ahead and skimped on kind of 2 videos this month because we just haven't had really anything substantial to talk about. It's that weird cusp between... September's a boring month. It's just, that's how I see it. Because it's right there on the cusp of like when things get entertaining, i.e. October, Halloween comes up, everybody's happy, everyone's ready to go for Halloween. Unless you're one of those.
Well, and it's also been, I guess, and this is a plus and a minus, it's been a really following the whole 100 employee.
It's an impossible task. It is truly just impossible. Australia is in flames. They have been... they've been rioting because of their overly controlling, overly draconian lockdown laws. There's been memes I've seen, such as, when you go to pick a... Oh, sorry, I was saying that the meme in particular is Willem Dafoe looking scarily into the sky because he went outside without a mask on to pick up his DoorDash from his porch.
Melbourne is where it's heavy right now. There's, gas and then
Whoa.
back.
1 second. Let's hold that thought. We might restart the bit about Australia. Let me see. For some reason, desktop audio isn't registering. Why? I haven't changed anything. That's why I'm so infuriated with this. There it goes. Okay. So anyways, yeah, you got the introduction, but as War Spirit was saying, this has been a slow month. And as we were saying, Australia, and as War Spirit just said before I was able to get his mic working, Melbourne in Australia is specifically bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's been plenty of riots, plenty of resistance, and just an interesting time for the whole world. It seems like everywhere else is having a hell of a news week, but America's been kind of in the dark. Which isn't bad. I've been enjoying kind of not thinking about everything else going on, so take that for what it's worth. I am not a picky guy. Anyway, Spooky, you're the newest person to come on the show, at least be it tonight or other nights. What maybe is something like, I'm trying to think, tell us about your PC. She just got started on a PC.
On my PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like...
I don't even know how to play.
But yeah, no, she got a really beefing PC. It's like the NVIDIA, the latest AMD freaking GPU out the ass grass. It is an insane PC. It's more beefy.
And I told you, like, this isn't even the GPU I'm going to put in the end.
Right. So this is like a temporary GPU?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But yeah, no, she's going to be probably a recurring guest. She's from the far north reaches. She's not exactly a local, but she used to be. I actually grew up with her in the same church that I'm at War Spirit in. She's just a cool chick. I'm glad to have her on. But anyways, a few things. I think I want to get into the topic at hand about the Chinese warships, War Spirit.
Copy.
Yeah. So, War Spirit, how many ships were escorted?
So there were 4 Chinese warships, 3 of them missile attack ships with about a 2,000 mile attack radius from their. That's how far their missiles can fly from wherever they are in the Bering Straits. Now, the Bering Straits is, it's right up Alaska's butt crack. I mean, it's right there, and so that's very disconcerting. They could have hit well inland of the United States if they'd have wanted to, and so our Coast Guard is actually the ones that intercepted them and escorted them out further away from U.S. Territory and U.S. waters. Now, to be clear, they were still technically in international waters, but it's kind of an unspoken rule that the Bering Strait is ours. Leave it the hell alone.
Right, because the Russians are always playing games with us over there, and the Chinese are always playing games with us. And
the Russians always fly over. The Chinks actually sailed ships over.
Right.
Yes, I said Chinks.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not, like I said, the Chinese can go suck a dick. And
Tiananmen Square, 1986.
1989. Same. I mean,
89, yeah, 89.
Sucked in 86 as well, dude. Trust me. But in 1989, there was a lot of blood. But hey, we don't want to lose all our social credit.
Speaking of Tiananmen Square, though, here's a little side note that's really very funny that I found on Facebook today. There is a Japanese adult video company that there was so many Chinese people that were pirating their content. They actually put Tiananmen Square 1989 on the front of all of their videos now.
Oh my god. That is an effective way. Spooks, that is a real funny topic. If you're ever dealing with someone, like while you're playing a game, and you find out that they are in China, actively playing against you, and they're like whooping your ass, type in the chat, or say it vocally, probably more effective in the chat. If you type Tiananmen Square 1989 in the chat of the game you're playing,
they get kicked.
It boots them. It immediately shuts their internet off. Their government has banned that phrase. Yeah, there was this horrific genocide their government committed in 1989. So if you type that down, their government has it censored because they don't want anyone to know about it. Just a really messed up thing to do to them. Just a really messed up thing to do to a Chinaman, but it is really fun. Yeah, I went to...
it's like the system power text for iPhones.
Yeah, I went to a Grand Theft Auto 5 lobby once and put that in on a Chinese server. Oh, it was great. Everyone... It was an empty server. I was like, did I just kill 20 people? But anyways, that is just a fun tip. But hey, you know what? China can suck it. I'm sick of all their bullcrap bullying us around because they own us. Sadly, that's the truth. They own us and they bully us. And they've bought all our politicians, left or right, Republican and Democrat. They own us. But anyhow, China also entailed, and get this, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't just send these little warships. They've also proudly and frequently go into relaying their war plans if they were to invade us. Isn't that interesting?
Well, so the information I told you I found kind of interesting. So every country does that.
Right.
It's basically a saber rattling, and pardon my French, but dick measuring contest to where, hey, we're badass, you better not mess with us because we're scary. And every country has done this statistically throughout, hundreds of years. And the last time that China did it was the late 90s, 99, and they had a very interesting strategy that they were planning on doing. They were going to go in through Canada and first send in 1 million unarmed Chinamen. So probably like sticks, spears, stuff, no guns. And they plan on attacking us with unarmed with 1 million. Now, the reason they're planning on doing that is they know, just like Admiral Yamamoto of the Japanese military Navy said, I would never attack the United States because we would find a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah.
But see, so the Chinese are like, yeah, but we can fix this because we have the numbers on our side. So we're going to make all these guys cannon fodder because these Americans are going to kill all of them. And then we'll send in behind 1 million armed.
Which, might I comment on how hilariously communist that is? Just
Very.
You pointed that out to me when you were telling me this. Like, if we look at the Korean War, it is just astounding how even the Soviet conflicts against the Germans in World War II crack me up about, like, let's just throw men at the target. Let's just throw men into machine guns. We don't care. Men are cheaper than guns.
Okay, comrade John, we have moss in the gun for you. War Spirit, he run behind Comrade John. Here is clip of ammunition. When Comrade John falls down, you pick up moss in the gun and reload the rifle and keep fighting.
Vodka, comrade.
Da.
We go to war. We must kill the Germans. No.
So the Chinese, they're same song, second verse. Communism always tries to throw bodies at it, and it is for a certain amount true. It's a horrible, evil way to fight a war, especially because you don't care about your people. But if you throw enough people at a hill, like even in About Face, Colonel David Hackworth talked about this, and if you throw enough people at a hill, you can take that hill. But how many losses are you going to have?
Yeah, which begs the question, though. It's like with the population of China, it's astounding.
But you, John, brought up a very good point while we was talking about this, and I find it very comical, but also maybe in a way true. How many of those Chinamen that would be coming over, 1 million, right, unarmed, if we could get information to them, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, capitalism, right, to show them what the United States truly is, how many of them would be like, me stay here, Gia, me no want to, we go home, me a best friend.
Which would just be it, because they'd sit there, they'd be like, our own government gave us a free ticket to freedom.
Yeah.
Because, like, at that rate, all that would be left, and this isn't a good scenario, all that would be left in that situation would be literally the politicians of China. They'd be sitting there, no, kill them. And they'd be like, no, we are very happy here. Why would we kill Americans? We open nail salon.
So let's go over the numbers a little bit closer, because we mentioned...
What
was that?
What was that?
The massage place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me open massage parlor.
Yeah, that would be it. Because, like, yeah, if they sent a million...
ending.
Yeah, if they sent 1 million unarmed troops, I would reckon that at least half of that million would be like, hey, America ain't so bad. Let's just chill out with these guys. Our government sent us in. Why not? Because I think that's the truth that China, that's probably why they haven't, like, sent in 1 million men.
There's other logistical problems. And it is scary, though. So they got the numbers on their side as far as people. Because I talked about the 1 million unarmed, the 1 million armed. They're going to do this every other week. And they can keep this pace up every other week of unarmed and armed for 3 months.
That's impressive. Now,
here is the proverbial chink in their armor, John.
Oh, God. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Oh.
That's okay. They have a problem with what? What are we doing?
They have a problem with what? Sorry.
They have a problem with their planes. I don't know. I was confused. I don't know what that was.
I sneezed.
Gotcha. So they have a shamelessly copied version of our C-17. I believe that's the Stratofortress. I can't remember what the C-17's designation is, but it's a big passenger plane, right? It's what we used to get our troops and a whole bunch of Afghanis that we have no idea if they're good guys or bad guys out of Afghanistan. They only have 76 of those. Okay? So keeping those numbers up, you can only, for example, this one pilot pulled 580 people out of Afghanistan with one C-17, and that was like really, really cutting it close. They were wondering if it was going to take off.
Jeez.
And that's without equipment or gear, right? So you get Chinaman, of course, the unarmed, probably you could do that. But the armed is going to have gear, right? They're going to have their rifles. They're going to have their battle loadout. They're going to have their logistics, all their different stuff, their packs, their rucks. And so you're not going to be able to carry that many people in one plane.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that we don't know of is see, that's just based off of information that we have from satellite photos. We don't know how much stuff they have, like in underground hangars.
Right. And of course, this also, you're bringing up the planes. I was talking about, communists don't mind losing men. They really don't.
No.
They don't care. But they would mind if we shot down 20 of those planes in the first wave, because they wouldn't be able to just rebuild those. Yeah, they've got all the people in the world, but now they can't get them over here.
Here's the next thing the communists would do, though, and it would maintain the numbers for a while. See, in the U.S., we can't just tell Delta Airlines, "Hey, Delta, guess what? We're using all your stuff." But China can. So the Chinese airlines would be commandeered to bring troops over.
That's insanity. It'd be some Dunkirk crap, except they're on the offense.
Come fly the China sky.
Yeah, no kidding. So, hopefully, if China attacks, I think we'd be okay. We've got ways to fight it, and hopefully our military's in the game. Because that's the one thing that would help out as far as AA. But, other than that...
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me again.
Oh, you burping or something?
Oh no, I'm just thinking about Joe Biden shitting his pants.
Oh yes, that was something. Yeah.
Trying to make a segue, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I was about to say, you kept cutting out every time. I just heard like. Blah. So supposedly, old Joe, during a live stream, it was just on a lot of news interfaces like CNN and different stuff. There is a video of it. Google is, for some reason, being very weird about it, of letting that out. Because I personally don't see the big deal. I mean, it's funny, politicians shit themselves, I would be a little worried about his image if he was incontinent, but there's enough already against his image that I don't think it matters. But that going with it is like one of those things. It's like he farts, like it's clear, and it's pretty damn wet one. But the one thing you told me is kind of strange with that is you said that he actually enjoys it. Is that where did you hear that, Horse Spirit?
Joe Biden crapping his pants?
No. You were saying Alex Jones. Alex Jones.
Oh, yes.
Secret Service member. Yeah, old Alex.
Yes.
Turning the fucking frogs gay.
By the way, I found the video of Joe Biden shitting his pants, too.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, well,
and it's start at 57 seconds.
Roger.
I'll send this to you.
Yeah, anyways, as you were saying.
So Alex Jones found through a very credible source, some leaks through the Secret Service, that Joe Biden enjoys shitting his pants and making them clean it up.
And I hope that's not true. I would be very sorry for the Secret Service members. That could be slander, just outright, but I wouldn't be surprised. Politicians are always kinky. So
Here's the thing. I do not put anything past these people anymore. And I used to think, oh, Alex Jones, he's freaking nut job. But everything that guy, trust me, I still think he's weird, right? But everything he has said, the important stuff, the stuff that really is crazy, has come true.
Yeah, I was about to say that is something that freaks me out with him. Is like, I don't know, like some of the stuff, like I will give him that, is like some of that stuff didn't really stick. Like the gay frogs doesn't really stick very well. But I think like the context might not be there. Either way, Alex Jones is kind of a loose cannon, as you can tell. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I went for a swim, I ate some steak, and I'm just pissed off.
Yeah.
You know?
Angry.
Yeah.
By the way, it's in show notes.
Yeah, so I saw it, and let me go ahead and get this up for you guys so we can watch
50.
it.
It started at 57 seconds.
Yeah, let me get my window capture up to... Okay, window capture, here we go. Come here. Okay, there we go. So, if you guys want to tune into that. So, 57 seconds. Well, I'll go ahead and start at 52.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right, fellas, let's go ahead and watch.
Or stop work on roads and bridges. So, what does the union...
There it went.
Damn.
Actually, go back a little bit. Go back a little bit.
Normal happening. It's a reaction to like, what was that? So go ahead and check this out.
programs? Or stop work on roads and bridges. So, what does the union call...
Notice
Did you see him? Did you see him? Like,
He's like, dude.
So,
Hold on, I gotta go back
So.
here.
programs. Or stop work on roads and bridges. So, what does the union cause...
That's pretty good. So, obviously that's not an edited sound. Something made him look like that. He's like, what the hell, Biden?
yeah.
But this
So
is
that's
the
just
only
it. That's
footage,
proof
so-
right there that there was a reaction.
Right.
If it was edited, somebody just wanting to make him look bad, the reporter would not have done that.
I'll play devil's advocate. Maybe the man just had a fat one he had to rip. I mean, he's the president. If I was the president, I wouldn't care about farting on television, to be honest. But,
Here's the thing with the presidency, and I tend to agree with the tradition of the presidency. So you're the leader of the free world, right? So you have a higher standard that you should live up to.
that is true.
And you also have a propriety to live up to. The not just because you're the leader, but the respect for the position of office.
That's very true.
Just the same reason why it pissed me off when Obama put his feet up on the Oval Office desk. Okay? Yeah, that's his desk. But it's the Oval Office. It's the presidency.
That is fair.
Act like you got some class.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cross that off my bucket list real quick. Don't put feet up on the Oval Office. So.
Yes.
I'm gonna purposely do when I become president.
Right. All three of us just have like this what's it called? This cabal that we make where we all are just like shifting presidencies. Tyr will be like a mock Democrat, and I'll be like sitting there, don't vote for him, he's a rabid communist. And Spooky will be like a radical feminist and like dye her hair blue and like
Radical.
have a beard and stuff, and she'll be like, women's rights first, I'll be president.
I feel like that was thunder. I think we're getting rained.
Oh.
It's not right.
Either way. And old War Spirit would just be the Minutemen from Fallout 4 at that rate. Except better than Preston, for sure.
If I became president, my first executive order would be that, you know how they required everybody to wear masks throughout the nation for the longest time, and some places there still is. I would require everyone to carry a AR-15 everywhere they go. You're not allowed to go into a grocery store without your AR-15.
Hell yeah. Anyhow, I've actually made a post on Facebook before it got banned, and it was on the top of my page. If anybody was curious enough to click on it, it was, if I was president, what I would do. And I put my first executive order would be give every young man over the age of 16 an M60 machine gun and a pair of aviators.
Fuck yeah. I'm down.
Here is my caveat as president with that.
Yeah.
Every military-aged male, once you turn 18, you are required to serve 4 years in the armed services branch of your choice.
works.
Period. Because here's the thing. I used to think, oh, no, the draft or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't work because those people don't really want to be there, right?
I ain't no
Colonel
bitch. I'm going
Colonel David Hackworth changed. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tier. What did you say?
If you're gonna do that, I'm going with the Marines. Fuck all that shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Marine Corps all the way, buddy. Me too.
Just adds to it.
We'll give you all your crayons that you could eat, Tier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Copy.
all of them.
I'll be there with you in the Marine Corps, Tier. Mr. Army over here will think he's smart, but we can kick his ass. Let's see.
The Great Ranger versus Marine battle of 2070.
Actually, fuck that. I'm going Air Force. Fuck it, maybe.
In that case,
Wing wiper?
Pull-ups.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yep, free diaper exchanges for at least a month.
Okay.
So getting back to
myself when I go 4 feet from the ground and somehow manage to pull up.
Sorry. Anyways, War Spirit, what were you going into?
So I used to think like the draft or whatever, right, was like say, take Vietnam for example. I'm like, that doesn't make good soldiers because half of them didn't want to be there, right? Colonel David Hackworth actually had a really good point in his book. He actually said that he liked the draftees, and he even liked the ones that didn't want to be there because, and I'm going to use a little bit of profanity here. I'm sorry, but these are his words verbatim from the book. They would not suck the Army's dick. Meaning, they weren't worried about making a career in the military. Okay, career military guys sometimes keep their mouths shut over stuff that they disagree with.
Yeah, that's what lost us in Vietnam. Yeah,
and these generals that didn't want to make Washington mad at them kept their mouths shut, didn't tell them the truth, what was really going on in Vietnam. And so, yeah, it was Washington's fault, but that book actually really showed me, I was like, wow, it wasn't just really Washington's fault, it was also the brass. Because how can Washington make good decisions when they don't get the whole story?
Right. No, that's actually very true. There is a lot of issues, and as far as like making a career out of a military, it's like, oh well, I don't want to get fired, so I'm not going to do the right thing, that sort of thing. It does cause a moral dilemma.
And I commend hundreds, even thousands of service personnel right now that are being discharged as we speak this week. Because they're refusing to take the shot. Right. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, if you like the shot, you don't like the shot, I don't care. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't. But these people that don't want to have to take the shot should not have to.
Yeah, that's my policy on it. It's just simply that. It's like, I don't really care if people want to do it. But...
Yeah, if you want it. Well, and those of you who have listened to us before, or in the past, or especially long-time listeners, know that me and John are pretty much more like libertarians than we are Republicans or Democrats. And the biggest thing with libertarianism is just leave me alone.
Yeah, it's just it's like everyone I think who truly wants to be peaceful wants to just be left alone, and I respect that a lot. No matter if like what their decisions are, it's just like the overbearing government footstep from Republican or Democrats is just completely ridiculous, and I despise it. Because the Democrats, just like Republicans and everything else, it's like, well, my morals are right and you have to follow them. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I used to be that way. Like I used to really throw crap around and get on everyone's bad side because I was so like, we need to force people to do things. And then I grew up. Big surprise. And I found that all I want in life is to be left alone. And the biggest thing with so in the case of vaccine, like I said, I'm sure the vaccine is fun. Like everyone I know, like this one down here and this one over here, Spooky and Tier have both been vaccinated. And we're okay with that. We're cool with it. We're not crusading, But that just being said, my protest is for the people who've lost their jobs over it and the people who have been kind of bullied to think that they need to get it, like, or rather, it's fine to think maybe you need to get it, but to be bullied, like, you need to get this or we're going to fire you, I think is totalitarian at its heart. And I think that that's the main reason I don't get it. Like, I don't care if it works. I don't care if it doesn't work. I don't care if it's poison in a tube or not poison in a tube. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just simply saying I don't want people to be forced or intimidated into doing anything such as a shot. But as that goes, it is interesting as things have gone on, especially in the case of Australia, how they're just like, nope, we're done with the fear. Because I bet you just half of those rioters, I bet you are vaccinated. Why are we still locked down? So, you know, that's just it. And cheers to Australia for standing up for themselves. And I hope that it ends diplomatically. But we will see.
You know,
That's
one more point. One more point with the vaccination. I saw something today that's it's kind of comical but very true. When the last presidential election happened, there was this big, hey, you have to trust the people because, you know, we're going to send out all these mail-in ballots, right? Yeah. And just trust them that they, you know, that we're going to get it all back and it's going to be all honest. Well, okay, well, let's do that with the vaccine. You go ahead and send me the vaccine through the mail, and I'll tell you that I took it.
Right. It's like Chris Cuomo over in New York saying, we need to force these people into cars. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, Sieg Heil.
Did you forget what country you're in, Cuomo? Like, even like from a completely non-biased point, are you just like, to quote old Sieg Heil, do you want war? That's just it. I mean, that dude's insane. I actually have a friend who lives in New York right now, and he was just talking, he can't even go to a restaurant without like showing his papers, which is like, what?
Papers, please.
That's pretty crazy. But
we have ways of making you talk.
So I'm just trying to think to get kind of more into just transition into more maybe chilled out things. That's everything we had to. So note it down, ladies and gentlemen. China is getting cocky. Our government is still kind of in limbo right now. Nobody really knows what they're doing. And honestly, I think people are too worried about their own lives to give a damn. And
I'll tell you something kind of personal here, because of course I got the testing. I got forced home early this week because I have some kind of a throat infection / gland infection thing going on. I need antibiotics. Of course, my employment and my employer is, you know, being cautious, so I have to go get. I had to get a test done today for COVID, which I really don't think I have. But I actually kind of, in a way, hope that I do have COVID. Just to prove that it's not the boogeyman that everybody talks about. But I kind of find that funny, right? So when the first round of COVID hit everybody last year, right? And there weren't near as many deaths as what they thought there was going to be. Now all of a sudden, quote, a new variant, right? The Delta variant is out. And they're like, well, it's contagious, but it's not as lethal. I find that very, very convenient. Because they figured out, oh, wow, it's not killing people as much as it was. Well, we got to say it's still scary, though.
right.
So it's not necessarily going to kill you, but you're going to feel really horrible.
Right. So
The thing is with COVID and everything, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt for a second.
please
I
talk.
have had COVID. I got COVID 3 different times in the past 2 years, actually. And
Interesting.
to be honest, it didn't really do anything to me that much. I got a little bit of the body aches, the shortness of breath, that stuff, the fever. But like the whole reason I'm getting vaccinated is because of older people in my family. If they get it, they could die potentially. So
And we respect that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're
So hold on here. So you have gotten vaccinated already and then got it?
No, I had it 3 different times in the past 2 years, and I just recently went through the first dose of the vaccine. I'm supposed to go in
Gotcha.
for the second dose.
What did you get? AstraZeneca or Moderna?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Huh. Hey, what's your lot numbers?
I got Pfizer.
Pfizer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's really been around in this recent time frame. Like, I think the other ones had, like, those ones were definitely, I think even most people who've been vaccinated as of late were like, whoa, I want to wait a little bit. So they waited till the Pfizer one came out.
Well, see, that's the other thing. The other thing I have a problem with. I don't necessarily think that all these vaccines are bad, but the thing that I have a problem with is, okay, they got AstraZeneca, they got Moderna, they got Pfizer, they got the Johnson and Johnson. Now they're saying that most places, you have to have at least 2 shots, right? So now the Johnson and Johnson, if anybody who's gotten, because that was just 1 shot, anybody that's gotten the Johnson and Johnson now, they're actually going to start saying, oh, well, you actually haven't been vaccinated.
Right.
So I'm wanting to make up their piss-picking mind of which shot is it?
Yeah.
Which one is the magical shot? And how many times do I got to get jabbed? Because now they're saying the people that have already had 2, oh, well, you're actually going to have a booster, so it's going to be 3.
Jeez. Well, tell us how it affects you guys, and we'll be happy to continue it on our show. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, because I'm very intrigued. Mr. Tier, did you have any side effects when you got the poke? Like, did you feel sick?
I was
Tired,
This is freaking.
but not like crazy, not crazy bad though, right? No? That's good.
See, that's what the vaccine does to you guys. You hear that? Sends you straight to the war zone.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so we're big individualists here, and we support individual liberty. So anyways, you may have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that I went and grabbed this hat and kind of got a reaction out of old Spooky there. Spooky, do you remember this thing?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I wore this hat every day for like 10 years straight, and it's tattered and worn. It's got wear and tear. It's an old Vietnam tanker's hat with a freaking peace symbol latched in the middle, and I would always wear this even to church. And it was funny because it was just like that scene from Full Metal Jacket of like, you have a peace sign on your head but a cross on your neck. What are you trying to say? I think I'm trying to make a critique of the duality of man, sir. But no, it's just kind of a nice little personal thing. This was a huge part of my image for a long time, and I figured I'd show it off tonight. Just my little battle-scarred hat. I had a Chihuahua because one of the girls from youth actually took it once, and they kept it in their house, and their dog got a hold of it once. But I'm not too torn up about that. I liked the scars, actually. Other than that, that's the story of this hat here, and anyhow, so yeah, old days past and everything. Just trying to think of something maybe that Spooky and Tier can kind of get more into than our political jargon, because it is so awesome to have people on the show.
To politics.
I was about to say, I know that, because politics are bad. Politics aren't fun. Politics make people get pissed.
They're confusing too. When you're first trying to learn about everything, you're just like, "Frick is going on?"
Well, that's the very reason though why it's so important to learn it though, because people don't know what's going on in this nation.
Right. And I agree. And if you hang with us, I'm sure you'll have plenty of insight into our opinions on things. We're very opinionated. You remember my Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. Look, I don't care if you have a different opinion than me. That's fine. But have an opinion.
Yeah. That's just it. That's America. Have an opinion.
Yeah.
Don't be sitting on the fence, you know. You gotta have an opinion. Do you think that God came down from heaven to stop a speeding bullet? Sorry. Oh, I just shot Tier in the face.
Little Pulp Fiction for you guys there.
Yeah, if you guys like,
It's in the same. Kiwis are in the same ballpark.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep.
What?
So there's something we could talk about a bit. Is code words. We have a lot of friends, and just throughout time, we've always made words for different things, and namely, spooky was always a word for me as a growing up guy. And so, like, whenever something was weird, whenever something was just strange or like intimidated me or whatever, it'd always just be like, that's spooky. That spooked me. And a story to that, Spooky Business's name actually hails from a phone call that I received on a morning. It was like Saturday morning.
No, it's like the middle of the night. It was like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, or it was afternoon then. But I had just crawled out of bed. I was walking over to hop on my video games, whatever I was doing that day, and I get a call. It's from a number I've never seen before, which is really weird for me. And I answer it, and there's a female's voice on the other line. I don't think she said anything, but I was like, who is this?
I did.
What did you say?
I said I was hiding in your closet.
I guess I didn't hear that part. I was like, what? I think I probably was just like so blown back. I was like, what? Or something like that. You said, like, I'm hiding in your closet. And then I replied, that's some spooky business. And then
you just hung up.
Yeah. So either I hung up or you guys hung up. It was so long ago. It was like easily 7 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But,
Probably not even that.
yeah. I don't know. It feels
It was like 8, 9 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago because I think I was like 15, something like that. But anyhow, yeah. So, Tyr, do you have any sagely wisdom?
Not right now. No.
That was our sagely wisdom segment for Tyr.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was gonna get off the game soon.
Next week, turn into Sagely Wisdom with Tyr, where Tyr gives us some sagely wisdom.
If you want, I can just base boost the fuck out of my gain and just have Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I think that's all right, man. I don't think our audience needs to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah. Is today Thursday?
Today is when?
It is Thursday, yes.
It is Thursday.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
So Friday.
I know that because I did not go to work today.
There you go. So Friday tomorrow.
Thursday.
Yeah. I can't wait for the weekend. Oh, I'm so excited. Just to be able to sleep in, and also like Friday night and Saturday. But anyways, yeah, no. I think that was a pretty good show, guys. I don't really have anything else to bring to the table. Does anybody else want to talk about something specific? Maybe just.
I have one more phrase to share with our listeners, John. It's basically a quote that I heard today that I really like. So, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, boys want attention, men want respect, legends don't give a fuck, and remember, you never see a U-Haul behind a hearse, and your banker isn't going to come put your money in your coffin. You guys have a good night.
Thank you for that. All right, everybody. Been a pleasure. Thanks for joining Spooky. Thanks for being here, Tyr. It's a pleasure, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the recording. Good night, everybody. And good night, America.